Now we're going to tie one of my absolute favourite guide flies. It's a Brassie, and although I tie them in different versions and in different sizes, frequently very small, this one we're just going to tie a basic Midge version. Run the thread down to almost the bend of the hook. If you want to tie a mayfly version, you can obviously add in some tails at this point. Take a copper wire and tie in. It's important to get the copper wire to run all the way along the hook shank when you tie it in. If you don't do that, you're going to struggle to get a neat, smooth finish on the abdomen. And then throw a half inch just so that the wire doesn't knock the thread off and all unravel whilst you're wrapping it. And then we're going to wrap the wire in touching turns up the hook shank to form this classically segmented, shiny abdomen. I'm not so convinced it's the colour, although that might be part of it. I think a lot of the effectiveness of this fly is simply because for a small fly it sinks remarkably well. And when you get up to the thorax area, you're going to tie it off with the thread. Be quite firm about it, and then snap off the wire. The abdomen's done. We're going to form the thorax of the fly, and I'm just going to use some peacock herl. And there are a lot of different ways of doing this, but again, durability is much on my mind. So what I do is tie in a couple of strands of peacock herl, wrap it around the tying thread. That'll help reinforce it. So you end up with a rope of thread and herl. And then actually, I'm not that careful. I kind of just wrap it on till I get the bolt that I want. There we go. It looks rough and ready, but actually it works better often than some of the other ways of wrapping peacock herl, and it does make it a lot more durable. Tie off the tag ends of the peacock herl and trim them off. And I'm just going to whip finish and finish off the fly. So you're going to do a quick whip finish. And that's pretty much what the standard Brassie looks like. But there's a little quirk the way I like to tie mine. Whilst that looks good, I think it looks a lot better if we modify this thorax slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to melt or burn off the top section of it. Take the fly, tip it up in the vise, take a cigarette lighter and just flash and burn off the herl and rub off the burnt bits. Now I just think that that gives a better profile to the fly. I like it like that. And if you want to add further durability, you can put a drop of varnish, almost like a wing case, on the top of where you melted off the fibers. I don't always do that. And there you have one of the simplest and possibly one of the most deadly nymphs known to man, the Midge Brassie. This one is, as I say, quite a large one, so you can see it on the video. Nothing could be simpler. It's probably one of the top 2 nymphs I ever use on the river anywhere in the world.